because what we know with the University of Ghana is that they've got a variety of different agencies that you're in attachment on with. What was the thinking behind, you know what, I prefer to stay home than to go outside, so to speak?
I was curious of what the PR section in the Ghana Police Force does, because I'm ashamed to say as a police, I'm never really followed the page or so before. So
really,
and I was curious.
Really, Corporal Murphy. All right.
So and I thought it would have been a good opportunity for me to practice what I'm learning right at home, well, in the force, in the convenience of my working environment, instead of going out and
to a different environment as well.
For my choice for coming to the corporate communication unit, I follow the page, so I have seen some drastic changes, because of following. I've noticed in the writing skills and the engagement with the public and the whole mandate that the PR is trying to change, and how the public sees the force. I thought that, it would have been a great opportunity to be a part of that team, to see the day-to-day operations. And I must say that kudos to the team, because it's indeed hard work. I mean, from the outside, you might think that, they're not doing anything. But indeed, for you, Mr. Gouveia, you're on the ball all the time. The staff is always ready. And it's a great experience to actually come and see, because looking out from the outside, you won't really understand the inner workings and everything that it takes to actually bring this end results that everybody would see. So I'm actually able to see the process.
So during the time, it's been 5 weeks
Yes.
that you've been there. And I was looking back at what I think you're supposed to have clocked 45 hours.
Yes.
I think you clocked 43 and a third so far. Before your final grade goes in. What was the first thing first task that you were given, and what was it like for you, Murphy?
the first task I was given was to do a story on a police lecture at the Providence car park. Well, I wasn't sure.
You guys just sent out like that, right?
Yes. I wasn't sure what I was doing, but with guidance and so forth, I got the hang of how to write the stories and the press releases and so.
No, I know. So, with that first written, so when you did it, what was the outcome? What were you told? What was said? Don't be shy.
Well, after I would have submitted the story to you, I noticed you posted up on Facebook, and I was like, wow, my first real published post. So I was very excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I think, you might not have realized that you have it in you to actually do some, good writing. And you did it, but it's always like that with the first. When you're unsure is this what they want? Is this what they're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But actually, what I'm looking at is like when you got out there to see what was happening with this police lecture, or to read what was happening with this police lecture. What was in your mind in terms of how can you put it over to the public in a way that you've been trained to, or just use your own style? What?
Well, I wanted to put it in a way that the public can relate, but also use my own style within it. and I try combining the two because everybody have to have their own originality. So
Go ahead. All right, and so let me just turn to you, Gonzalez, and for you, your first assignment was what?
My first assignment was designing a graphics. Yes, and it was a business visa requirements for on behalf of the immigration department.
I think you got it easy with that one, right? You think?
No, because
you worked in the immigration. You both work in the immigration department.
Yes. So it was easy because I rightly I know the requirements that nationals would have to have before they can apply for a business visa. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to make it in such a way that we know that in this age that we're living in, people don't really stop to read. But if they see something, if you have something that is eye-catching and that jumps out to them, then they're going to stop and they're going to want to know, what is this thing really about? So I wanted to create something that would have reached the masses so that they would actually understand and not only just look at the picture, but also get the basis of the message that we're trying to send.
During your time at the unit, have you ever been bored? Has it ever been boring? If it is, you can say it. It's all right.
It has never been boring because in anything, sometimes you have your up times when you're very busy, and then sometimes you have the downtime. But then in the little downtime, there's always something to do. You research something. You keep yourself engaged because remember we're dealing with different things. We're dealing with traffic. We're dealing with crime. We're dealing with different things. So if you keep yourself engaged in a fay, then when something comes to you, you're going to be more informed to write. You understand about it.
Awesome. You've had a chance to travel whilst being at the unit?
yes, we have.
Yes, we've been privileged to have a tour, and it was an awesome experience reaching the public, engaging the public in the outreaches that we've been a part of. We went to Bonasika Creek. We got to see Wakenham Station, Sansushi Station, Leguan Station. We went to Berbice
Quite recently.
I was privileged enough to...
As Auntie Alla would say, you're a tourist, you're touring,
Yes. I was privileged enough to visit the family with Minister Ben. And it was a great experience, and it's all thanks to the Corporate Communication Unit that have given me the opportunity to not only sit and write, but also to engage persons in a police, in terms of engaging the public, speaking to them, and so that I can get their perspective on the police while sharing with them.
Awesome. Now, Corporal Murphy, you've been involved in, and for those who may not know, if it is that you follow the Ghana Police Force page, over the past 5 weeks, a number of the flyers, posters, it's been your designs.
Yes.
All of the, for the past couple of weeks, as a matter of fact, a few weeks, Police and You flyers, advertise that. That's your design. You're into a lot of these creatives.
Well, I haven't had much experience in it, but attending UG, I had to learn to use the InDesign program for a project. I've had a few lessons in it,
Uh-huh.
and I find it to be very interesting, and I like the design aspect and the creativity. So I try to learn in my own time. And when I came to the department, to the unit, I took the opportunity to help to design the police and youth flyer.
Awesome. I think we're going to be looking forward to making sure that you continue to design those flyers.
We'll see.
I like what you say. We'll see. All right. As females in the Guyana Police Force, where do you see yourselves? Perhaps in another, you've been 12 years in the Guyana Police Force. Where do you see yourselves within maybe the next 12 years? In terms of, women in leadership, would you say?
Well, after a few more years of studies and so forth, I hope to be in your position or farther up in the,
Look
in the
out.
chain of well, learning from you, of course.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, what about you, Gonzalez?
Well, I plan to continue my studies in whichever department I'm working. I plan to continue to do my best while studying because I believe knowledge is power, and nobody knows everything. So the more I learn, the more I'll be able to incorporate it into whatever position I will be in, and we'll see what God has planned.
All right. And you've chosen one of my pet favorites, which of course is communications.
Yes.
So I want to say kudos on that, and kudos on behalf of the department for your internship time. I believe there's some things afoot to make sure, but I'm sure where you came from, which is immigration.
Yes.
My final question to you, given that you're at immigration and you have pursued studies in communication, you've mentioned the effectiveness of being able to, and with cultures and knowing where we're getting as a country and so on. Do you believe that you will have to be at immigration, or you can effectively serve at any division or department of the Guyana Police Force?
Definitely. In any department, place, I believe that I will always do my best, to work hard and to promote any department that I'm working in.
She shared my sentiments too.
Serious sentiments.
Yes.
Well, of course, it's certainly no secret on behalf of Mark and everyone down at the CCU. It's been certainly a pleasure having you folks intern with us. And it's been a pleasure having a conversation with you ladies tonight on Police and You, where you've been featured. I want to say best of luck as you continue in your studies, and like so many other policemen and women, we're looking forward to being able to post your graduation when that time comes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very much anticipating it.
Awesome. And of course, that is a wrap on tonight's program of the Police and You. It's been another production of the Corporate Communications Unit of the Guyana Police Force. And the first half of the program was produced by both Corporals Murphy and Corporal Gonzalez, who have sat in the seat and were interviewed just a moment ago. as our interns down at the corporate communications unit. We give all, of course, the streaming credits to none other than Simeon Brown, Lance Corporal Brown, and of course, camera credits to NCN's recently married brother. Johan Vera. It's Stan Gouveia here saying.